Over the past month, I have not had the most amount of time to work on this corn game, but I got a little bit done that I think is good enough to show you at least, so let's dive right into it. And in case you didn't know, my name is Alex, and I'm currently working on a game where the main enemy is corn. Why? Because my girlfriend inspired me because she loves corn, and so I was like, why don't I just make a game with corn creatures? So here we are. And if you're new here, then be sure to leave a like and subscribe for future videos. But anyway, let's dive right into the video and talk about what I actually got done for the month of February. Yes, I know this is coming out like mid or late March, but it is what it is. Let's dive into what I've done. So in my previous video, I showed off talking about I was doing a little bit of like shader work, like learning about shaders inside of Unity, and with that I made like a cool like Rift looking thing, which I'm not gonna keep, but I like the idea of, and I wanted to do more using shaders to make it easier to actually play the game and have it be impactful in a way where it's like, okay, there's actually a reason for this outside of just looking cool. So what I did was I actually added shaders to basically all the main important things in the game. First off, when you kill an enemy, when they drop their item, it glows and it's got like a purple tint to it as well. So you can tell like, oh, it's a corrupted piece of the corn material. And with that, you're able to see, okay, there it is, let me pick it up, and it just looks cool. And then in addition to that, to make it more all work together, I made it so the corn creatures themselves have a purple tint to it to really show off that they've been like corrupted by this chemical, this element that's just taking over the ground, taking over the soil. And then I'm able to throw it on the crafting table. Then I did the next very important thing for my entire game, which is kind of creating a full gameplay loop. Just overall, at this point, there was no way to like really progress at all, and I'm like, okay, what do you need to progress? Something to progress with. So then I made it so you can actually get the element by cleansing the land. So then once you throw the potion on the land and it cleanses all of the squares on it, then you gain a piece of the element which you can use for upgrades later on, which brings me to the next thing that I did. All right, I kind of lied. It's like kind of the next thing. It kind of leads into the next thing, which is, well, at this point you're able to shoot as much as you possibly want in it. You can just spam the corn launcher, it just shoots it all like it's nothing, and you could just go wild with it. So I'm like, okay, first off, before I go any farther, I need to add actual gameplay elements to this. How do I add in gameplay elements? Well, I gotta make it more difficult for the player. So what I did was I took away the ability to just spam the corn launcher like crazy. So now instead of just spamming the button so it just goes non-stop, now you actually have to wait for the time between the shots. And with that, it takes me to the very last thing I did for the month of February, which, might I add, almost every single thing during this month was at the very end except for the shaders. Anyway, the last thing that I ended up working on to actually bring this game together was upgrades. So I added upgrades into the game so that there's actually a reason to play the game. There's actually a gameplay loop. So you go through, you kill the enemies, then once you kill the enemies, you collect ingredients, build the potions, cleanse the land, and when you cleanse all the corrupted soil in the land plot, that's when you receive a piece of the element, which you then can use to buy the different upgrades. So far, I have 2 actually implemented into the game. The first one is the fire rate increase, which I can show you some footage of here, the before and after for each tier of it, and every time you buy one, it gets progressively more expensive, so you have to clear more land in order to shoot faster. Or at the same time, we have a second upgrade, so you can either choose to buy an upgrade that lets you shoot faster or an upgrade that increases your damage. And I do have a third upgrade, but that's a bit of a sneak peek for what I may be working on in the near future, which is a very fun idea I have, but I haven't been able to implement it yet. I haven't really even attempted it because I don't really know how it's going to fit into the game just yet, but I think that's going to be probably the best one. And I want to make more upgrades relating to special abilities more than just basic stat upgrades, but I wanted to throw some stat upgrades so it actually feels like somewhat of a game. That basically sums up everything that I did for the month of February. I didn't get a ton done just because there is a lot of stuff I was doing this month, including a ton of playing Minecraft. May not have been the best use of time, but I can't really complain. I've been having so much fun, and I'm probably going to end up making a video on it in the near future, so stay tuned for that. That's also what I've been spending a lot of time on in March, so let's see if I can focus more on the game and less than playing games. We'll see. But yeah, that's really about all the progress that I made for this month. For the beginning of the month, all I really did was add in shaders, which isn't anything crazy, but it was very drastic in terms of how the game looks and how it works with the story, and I feel like it's just a really nice quality of life update. And then for the rest of the month, basically the last few days of the month, I added in the element that you get for cleansing the soil and entire land plots. I added in the time between shots for the weapon, so now you can't just spam it like crazy like you have been up until that point. And then of course I added in the upgrade. So a lot of progress in the last like 2-3 days of the month. So I'm glad I was able to actually get something done for this video, but hopefully I can get a little bit more done for the month of March, which as of right now might be happening. I guess we'll see. You got to stay tuned and subscribe for more videos though, so be sure to do that right now. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.